Welcome back to another episode of Oh My Lordi. I'm Tyler, and today's a special day because we have Tim with us. Tim is from WhirLocal, absolute whiz when it comes to helping local businesses. I'm excited because I've partnered with WhirLocal as well, and Tim's going to be the best one to explain really what WhirLocal is and why pretty much anyone should, create a profile and utilize it as a piece of their marketing. Oh My Lordi podcast. So Tim, thanks for joining us.
Great to be here.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you on. I would say probably the best guest we've had yet, not to downplay any of the other ones. So
you're not putting any pressure on me now. What's up with that?
No, so, every time we talk, we obviously talk about all the new things that are happening with WhirLocal, and each time it's just no brainer after no brainer. And so that's where I'm excited to have you come on and really just kind of share what it is and what it can do for people. And I know you guys are diving into a lot of AI, so we can kind of get into that. But tell us how you, if we want to go back even a little further,
Sure.
How you started WhirLocal, like where did the idea come from?
Yeah, so we had started serving local businesses. That was our heart and passion in the digital marketing space, and we felt like there was a need to be able to make it easier to get reviews. And so that's really where it started. It's like, okay, we talked about it, and I went home. I went into the workspace and dove in and hacked out a very first version over the weekend. And I think this could help. I think this could work. And I'm not a programmer, so it was truly a hack. It was awful, but yeah, that's where it started. Really, this idea of we saw what Amazon was doing with with what they were doing with reviews, and Google was getting reviews, and we just like there's got to be an easier way to help local businesses and nonprofits do the same. So that's definitely where it all started.
I love that. So obviously, kind of just started with that little one little concept, but like keep telling us like all the different features and kind of where it is now and where you see it going, if you can, and let us know all the maybe dirty little secrets.
yeah. Well, hopefully they're not too dirty, but no, it's interesting because we rode that for quite a while in terms of let's help businesses and nonprofits get reviews. We really kind of helped create the category in some ways. I would say we were somewhat pioneers in that space of kind of online reputation. And truth be told, we got outmarketed by other businesses with bigger budgets, bigger, better marketing, bigger personalities. It is what it is. They were louder than we were. And so we didn't grow, to be completely transparent, we didn't grow where we thought we would with that. But we were like, okay, what else can we do? We know there's more, as we served local businesses. Again, that's kind of our passion and just everything we love to do. We were like, well, there's a lot of other things that local businesses need, but we wanted to go beyond just being a digital marketing agency where like, okay, everything we do is custom and all that stuff that goes with being a kind of a full service digital marketing agency. And we wanted to put it into a neat little package, so to speak, in terms of, well, we could do this and we could do this. So we kind of went down that road, and right before the pandemic, that year before the pandemic, we started asking the question, what else can we do besides reviews? And we created, again, kind of hacked together this first version of what we call WhirLocal Neighborhoods. And it was only in Salem, Oregon, and it was bad. It was bad.
You really wish you had like ChatGPT and all the tools we have now back then.
Oh my goodness. Well, it was technically, we were doing what we could at the moment, but it was just kind of, it wasn't well thought out, and it wasn't at all designed to be able to scale beyond a couple of what we called neighborhoods, in the Salem, Oregon area. And so then we were like, well, this isn't going to work. And again, right before the pandemic, we're like, well, let's start rebuilding it, and literally rebuilding it from scratch, and to incorporate more of what it is today. Now, obviously, we continue to work on it. You mentioned, we're always adding new benefits, new features, and so forth. But the idea essentially is what we've built now is we've got this positive, community-based local media network, and we want, we also trying to be a champion for all things local. And so what that means kind of on the front end, there's a lot of toxicity. There's a lot of negativity when it comes to kind of the big tech platforms out there, without mentioning any names. But, it just can be really polarizing. It can be really negative. It can be really toxic. And so we wanted to create a positive community-based network. We're not a big name, where a lot of people are like, well, I've never heard of WhirLocal. And that's okay. We're not trying to be Google, or we're not trying to be Facebook. But we are trying to provide a way for local businesses and nonprofits to leverage different tools and strategies so that they can become found on big name, household name platforms. And so, what we do on the community side is just for the community member is we publish a digital magazine, we publish a business directory, and we provide a review alternative to some of the big tech sites. I'll go ahead and mention. So a big tech site like Yelp, for example, right? So that's kind of on the front end for community members. They can enjoy the content, they can find local businesses, and they can write reviews. On the back end, what we're really honed in on now is just really helping that local business or a nonprofit in the community scale and be more efficient with AI, with automation, and with community-based marketing, tying into everything that we built within WhirLocal. Does that make any sense?
Of course it does. I mean, again, every time we talk, I'm just like, no brainer, right? And I think, you mentioned like obviously kind of maybe going away from like your typical digital marketing, right? And that's overwhelming, I think, for a lot of, small local businesses. So having something that's, I don't want to say dumbed down, but just like super simple, they can follow and make an impact, through the directory listing and through the reviews, and then through obviously the content. And I remember obviously when we first started writing the content, we wrote up a lot of it, right? I'm sure you did all of it, yourself. And now, you're teaching businesses how to leverage AI with it as well. Because I think we know now at this point in time, or if you don't know, you will soon enough that it's coming. It's here and it's coming fast. So
not going away.
Yeah. So not even just like blog content, but like interview content and Google business profile content and just, little articles that you can utilize throughout the website. And just, there's so many different opportunities. I know we recently were talking about like social media stuff and, tell us a little bit about like, if you can, a little bit of the little tools and features inside that, a small business could leverage to just make content creation throughout their online presence super easy.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things we wanted to do, because again, local businesses, nonprofits, I mean, we believe they are the backbone of our communities. They're so important. We wanted to be able to have an option for really every budget. And that means having a free option, what we call a free membership. It's a free profile and a starter membership, and then some paid upgrades for those that have bigger needs, goals, and and everything that they want to do. But with the free starter membership, they can claim access to their business profile, and they can really, they can update that profile, control their own story, so to speak. We've made it super easy with a QR code driven little mobile page to get more reviews. Makes it super easy to just, still reviews are a big part of what we're doing, and we wanted to make sure that's available. And then it's really easy then to create content. You mentioned that, and to be able to start connecting with other local businesses. And we are leveraging, absolutely, we're leveraging AI in the way that, to give you an idea. So when somebody signs up for a free starter membership, they get access to 2 smart AI agents. One of them is to help optimize their profile. And so it walks through their business profile, just creates some proven copy for their description, for their profile. And the other thing it allows them to do is help write what we call quick posts. So it's a similar idea to if you were to go on Facebook or you were to go on LinkedIn, but it's creating this, it walks them through creating this quick post on WhirLocal. But it doesn't stop there. Again, remember that I mentioned that it's not just about WhirLocal. It's really about how do we help them get found or be part of the conversation on platforms that are household names, because WhirLocal isn't yet. So with that process, we actually then not only help them with WhirLocal content that they can publish on their profile, that content shows up in the neighborhood, in the community, but also then we can take that and then adapt it through our custom smart AI agent or assistant, and basically help them write content on LinkedIn, or they want to write a version for Instagram or for Facebook or for, a 30-second reel or something like that. And so we help them through that process with these smart AI assistants.
I love that. So it's in a nutshell, it's becoming like the hub for someone's online presence.
Yeah.
Right? Because you have so many different, aspects to an online presence, and a lot of people don't know where to start. So not only is WhirLocal a platform, it's another platform, right? But it's a platform that really provides the tools necessary to utilize it and even connect elsewhere, whereas others don't have that.
Well, we like to think that we're what we call an open garden, meaning that, again, the same idea is like we're not so focused necessarily on just, kind of this closed garden of everything's about WhirLocal. We want to help the business get found in a search engine. We want to help them promote content on social media. We want to help them get reviews, which is a big part of getting found in the search engines, and, helping your rankings go up and, all that kind of stuff. So that we are an open garden versus a site, some of the big tech sites, they're very much about their site and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I see so many positives with the platform. Can we get a sneak peek inside of it? You want to share your screen?
Okay, sure.
I know you didn't prepare for it, but I'm thinking, like, if I was not understanding what WhirLocal looked like, I'd be like, I want to see it. So if we could do that, that'd be super cool. I know I didn't prep you for this.
Yeah. Okay. So what do? Do I share my screen? Okay. Share my screen. Okay. I'm going to do the entire screen and jump over to WhirLocal. There we go.
Yes. Here we go.
Can you see it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the dashboard when somebody logs in. This is what everybody gets access to with a free starter account. And there's kind of three different things that I like to point out real quick to people. Just kind of the basics. I mentioned reviews was our starting point. It's still a big part. And so we've made it super easy, like I said, to get more reviews. We start with a simple QR code. And, somebody can download that QR code. It's all part of the free plan. They can use it on flyers, documents, at point of sale, wherever they, on a receipt, wherever they want to use that QR code. But then we've also taken it a step further and basically say, okay, we've got this mobile friendly QR code page that allows somebody to basically, they can take this, they can add it to their home screen on their phone. And then this becomes a super easy way. So, you're out and about, you're in the community, you're out on a project, you're serving a table, whatever that might be. And it just says, hey, you know what? We love serving you and we would love your feedback because quite honestly, it helps our business grow. And so would you be willing to write us a review? And, we all have our phones with us at all time, right? And so in fact, we panic probably because, oh my goodness, where's my phone? and then there's people like me that are like, I'm talking to my wife and all of a sudden I get this, I'm talking on my phone, I get this panic feeling and I'm like, oh, honey, I think I lost my phone and I'm talking on it. So, but the idea is, again, we all carry that with us. And so somebody can scan this easily on the phone and then really, and I am showing you a paid version, but basically where somebody then has the option to write a review on Google, or in this case, we have Facebook, or on WhirLocal. Now, why do we have it so somebody can write a review on multiple places? Again, it goes back to, we're not a closed garden. I don't, I want to get reviews on multiple places. I don't have Google turned on for this particular profile, but the reality is that when you just ask for reviews on Google, you are missing probably 30 to 40% of the reviews that you could be getting. And here's why. A, you're doing it on mobile in this case. So you're doing it on mobile. A lot of people are not logged in on their phone to their Google account. Google takes an account and you have to be logged in to do that. And so that's automatically discounting a whole bunch of people. They're not logged in on the phone. And then they go to log in and they don't know what their password is. Like,
No.
I mean, go figure, right? And so now you've created this friction point instead of, oh, I just want to make it easy to write reviews, right?
Yeah.
And so you're creating this friction instead. And then the third kind of scenario is that there are some people, and I know people absolutely like this, that don't want to write a review on Google. Why? Because of the account-based requirement, it puts their full name on it, shows all the reviews they've written, et cetera. And some people are just more private in that sense. So we've made it super easy. Somebody can add WhirLocal, they can add Facebook, they can add Google. And that's why we have the WhirLocal as a fallback, because we don't actually require an account. And it's just a super easy way to jump in. So you're capturing, again, 30 to 40% of additional reviews that you probably wouldn't get anyway or otherwise, and you're reducing friction points. So
I think that's super important too, because you touched on kind of spreading it out. And if we think about nowadays too, with AI and just a bunch of different factors, like the buying journey, unless it's like an emergency service, is getting, and even sometimes then it's just so much longer. People are going to hop around to Facebook and they're going to hop around to all the different platforms. And so this gives them, that other option. And like you said before, just a positive option that, has a lot of, business recommendations, and it's real. It's not, drama related or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So that's the one thing that we definitely do, to make that easy, and, getting more reviews. The other thing I like to kind of point out is, I'll close this out. So we mentioned the idea of what we call a quick post. So that's where we go back in the idea of like you post something on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever, we just say, hey, share something positive, right? Because we want to hear positive news. Now, you can open this up and it works similar to, again, it works similar to creating content or posting it on Facebook or one of the other social platforms. But many of us get stuck at this point and I have no idea what to write. So we've created this really quick AI assistant. And basically that just takes us over to ChatGPT and allows us to then start through a process of, okay, I want to use Sally, and Sally is our WhirLocal quick post specialist, and she's going to walk me through the idea of actually writing a quick post. So I can, I'll just put in my business name, and it's going to prompt me. So it's a smart AI assistant. And so it's going to, is there a specific event, service, or milestone, something? So it's prompting me through that process. It's smart, it's interactive, and you can kind of it'll walk through the process. I won't take the time, but it basically walks through the process of guiding that person through a conversation, and at the end it gives them everything they need to post here as a quick post. And then you can add an image, you can add a link to a video, you can schedule that content, or you can post it now. And so that's one of the beauties. We make it super easy. Just, let's just say if you want to create 4 at a time, just go in and batch them, schedule them out over the next 4 weeks. But it doesn't stop there, because once we're done with this process, that's where it starts saying, well, would you like to turn this into a Facebook post or a LinkedIn post or an Instagram or a reel or a blog post? And it just keeps prompting that user through the process. And that's why we call it a smart AI assistant.
That's awesome. So, I mean, now, within, even 10, 20 minutes, they could have posts all throughout their online presence.
100%.
Really, without even thinking about it. Because I think when it comes to business owners, especially, they've got a million things going on. They're wearing so many hats. This is, like you said,
hats behind you.
That's right. That's right. But this will literally walk you through where it's, effortless, and you don't have to necessarily think as much. And again, you got content, for days or weeks.
Yeah.
So I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like I said, no brainer.
No brainer, yeah. And then then what we do is one other thing I like to point out. Again, there's a lot here and so forth, but let me back up here. So we mentioned the business directory and the profile, and so every business gets the opportunity to create a profile, and once they claim it, then they can actually control their own story. So they can put in their logo and a cover photo, and they can put the description in here. Now, free starter accounts do have some limitations in terms of amount of content and stuff like that, but it does provide that place. You can put a link to your website. You can put different things in here, and then start posting content. So for example, here's a post here's a smart, a quick post that I made just about helping local organizations harness the power of AI. And here's another one. So just gives you the idea of what it looks like. So that's what every business gets, is a free profile. And one of the things I like to do too is, as they get reviews, you're going to start seeing with free starter accounts, you can see that it pulls in all the WhirLocal based reviews. With one of our Grow package, Grow membership, we actually pull in reviews from Google and from Facebook so that they combine all into one place. And so they all show up here. And then one of the things we love to do is it has then review images that are available with our Grow membership as well. And so it creates this really nice, shareable social media image for either Facebook or Instagram.
That's you.
That is me. Yeah, that's me.
That's
my
awesome.
co-founder, my wife, Pam, right here. And yeah, that would be me.
No, that's awesome. Again, just like an effortless thing, because I think, everyone overthinks their social media content. And I think one of the most powerful posts you can make is just something like this, where you share your reviews, right? They're not just meant to sit where they sit, shout from the rooftops and give people something like this. So
yeah, the thing about reviews too, and again, I mean, we've been doing this for a long time, is that a lot of people either they don't ask, they don't do anything proactive, and then they wonder like, well, why am I just getting bad reviews? And the idea being that, well, if you're proactive, you're gonna overcome or overshadow, unless your business truly needs to be redone. I mean,
right.
But if you're doing good work, you should be getting good reviews if you're being proactive about it. And but then don't stop there. I mean, start promoting them, like you said. I mean, that positive content, again, positive community, positive content, like you said, is great social media. It's called social proof. So,
right. Absolutely.
So that's another aspect. And then one more thing I'll just point out. Again, there's a lot here, but we love doing what we call recommendations. So this, at the free starter membership, we allow you to start connecting with 5 other local businesses or nonprofits in the system. And of course, I'm doing a live demo, so I'm stalled out, constantly. But let me show you where those show up. So on the front end, you can start connecting. So we've just got our network, and you can start seeing that it's this opportunity to recommend other local businesses. And again, I may be just stalled out, not sure. We may go to a commercial break.
That's what we have editors for.
Right. Okay. I mean, you can see it on the back end. You can search for local businesses and or somebody across town or across the state or across the country, anywhere that, inside of our ecosystem. And then here you can see that we now have this virtual recommendation wall of, these are just examples of people that we've recommended on the platform. And the cool thing is, when you go to, like, let's just pull up Sonia John Aesthetics, this goes to her profile. And now you can see just kind of that on her profile, you can see that we recommend her, and it's a link back to ours. It's just this way to start building your network, start building the know, like, and trust factor. And really just kind of being able to start building that local connection.
I love that. So instead of going into a group on social media and getting a million different comments and you see all the drama and everything, you can just go to a platform and, you need an electrician and a plumber and a roofer. They're all going to be recommended within each other, most likely, right?
Absolutely. Well, that's a great point. So somebody like, a real estate agent, for example, that, they typically have some of those people that they recommend, they could just put them in their recommendation network. And there's your insurance agent, there's your lender, there's your landscaper, your roofer, your plumber, and they're all right there. And that's a great way to just kind of promote them. And you can actually drop that into your website as well. So you can build this kind of virtual recommendation or trusted network and drop it into your website.
That's so cool. I truly think you guys thought of just about everything, and I know you haven't, because you keep coming out with new stuff all the time, and I love it. So I'm excited to continue to watch where it goes. And again, as a local business, no brainer. It's just a super simple platform.
At a minimum, I mean, jump in, grab your profile. It really is. It's another profile with a description. It's a listing, what we call a citation in digital marketing terms, but that actually makes a lot of sense for you. The more citations or listings you get that are linking back to your website, the better, from kind of building this popularity on search engines. And so it really is a no-brainer to sign up for a free profile. And then based on your needs, we've got upgraded membership packages that start at $365 for the year, or then we have some core membership packages that range from roughly $200 to $500 a month. So
perfect. So you got a little bit for everything, and or for everyone. And you guys, it's cool because you guys started obviously locally in Salem, right?
Yeah.
But now you're everywhere.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say we're everywhere yet, but we've had the opportunity to work with you in Murfreesboro, and really, really excited about that. And we appreciate your support and jumping on and promoting it and doing content and promoting local businesses there in your area. And but yeah, we are growing through what we like to say a network of affiliates and local champions, people that love their community, people that want to help local businesses and nonprofits, and that's helping us now expand across the country into different markets.
Love that. But even if maybe it's not present yet, wherever you are in the country, you can sign up and begin that process, right?
Absolutely. Yep. So you can. I'll just go to the and if you give out the, let's see, so the gritmediagroup.com/WhirLocal.
Oh, that's me.
That's you. Hey. So gritmediagroup.com/WHIRLocal.com, or excuse me, just local, WhirLocal. That'll come to the Get Started page. Really, this is where somebody can, sign up for a free account. It talks about the different benefits, the struggles, and how we can come alongside. And literally, somebody can just, if they have a Google business profile with an address, they can just. So, Tyler, give me a name of a local business that you frequent. Favorite donut shop.
Oh man, I'm not a big donut guy. I don't want to say like Dunkin' Donuts or anything.
Favorite local coffee shop.
Local coffee shop.
You put the spot.
You're putting me on the spot here.
Okay. Favorite restaurant.
Let's do. Oh, there's so many good ones. Let's just do Alley on Main.
Alley on Main.
Yeah, EY.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's it.
So here they are. They actually already have a profile because you've probably gone through and created them, or somebody on your
bad example.
No, it's all good. And so basically somebody can come in here, they can view the business profile, and here, it's just now waiting for the Alley on Main, the owners or whatever to basically claim their profile. And so they can just go through that process and claim it, and then they have control over it. So.
Easy as 1, 2, 3.
Easy peasy. Yeah.
Beautiful. What do you think from even if you don't own a business, or if you do, what would you say to them to kind of just hop into the platform and just get started? Yeah,
I mean, it literally is just going in and claiming your profile. Now, it's a little bit harder if you don't have a Google business profile with an address attached. We're working on some ways to make that easier, because there's a lot of service area based businesses that that don't show an address, but we're coming out with something very soon that'll make that easier. So stay tuned. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just if your brand matters, this is another opportunity to control your story and start getting reviews and to post content and help you look more professional online. And it's again not just about showing up better online or getting reviews on WhirLocal. It's like, how do you show up across the spectrum of both WhirLocal and the household names? How do you get more reviews on Google? We give that away for free.
Yeah.
So how do you get more reviews on Facebook? Or how do you post content that can be posted on these different platforms? And we really are trying to help businesses and nonprofits scale with AI, with automation, and with our community-based platform.
Yeah. I think one of the main things you said there, super important, is like, you get to write your own story. One of my old mentors always said, take the pen, right? Take the pen, write your story. And this really allows you to do that, where you feel like you're in control versus just like let's be honest, like all the algorithm updates and everything that you have to play with. Like you post things online, it's just like, doesn't even matter.
Right.
right? So this allows you to take the pen, write your own story, and control the narrative, which is absolutely awesome for local businesses and nonprofits alike. So,
yeah. Yeah. And, a lot of people think that, well, I'm focused on getting Google reviews only. I mean, I've had people tell me, I only want to get Google reviews. Okay, but you're causing friction, and you're missing out on 30 to 40% of people that will not write a review or can't write a review because they don't know their login, or they're like, well, I only want to post content on pick one of the channels, right?
Yeah.
And yet we're giving them the opportunity, like you said, to control their story in a way that can affect their professional presence everywhere.
Yep. So. Yeah, we honestly, and I don't want to like necessarily bore everyone with like SEO, but like there's a lot of cool SEO benefits you can take advantage of because you control the narrative.
Yeah.
Right. So the content that's being pushed out there, not only just for your website, but obviously for the WhirLocal platform, where you can control obviously the content and create interlinking opportunities.
Well, let's touch on that since you brought it up.
All right. Let's do it.
I'm not an SEO expert. I wouldn't say I am, but I know a few things. I've seen a thing or two. But one of the things we do with our first paid membership, it's a local champion membership. It's $365 for the entire year. And again, pretty much a no-brainer, but it unlocks some of those, what we call Google juice, just really those features that allow links to count back to your website, and inner links to count, and they're called follow links to bore people to death. But we actually unlock that, and that can be a contributor to how you show up online overall.
Yeah, just again, super easy way to make a small impact, right? Because SEO is complicated, right? And so again, come into a WhirLocal platform and just pay $1 a day to get that benefit, and so obviously so many others. No brainer. So,
I mean, from an SEO standpoint, again, search engine optimization, getting found in the search engines. I just tell people, you know what? If all you do is get more reviews, that's gonna. There's literally hundreds of factors when it comes to SEO, but if that's all you can do, just go get reviews. Fantastic. That's going to make a big difference.
Big difference. Absolutely.
Especially for that local business.
Yeah, no, for sure. Anything you think maybe we didn't touch on with the platform, or anything you want to share?
The danger of talking to me is I can talk for hours about it. So I don't want to bore people, but I think the reality is a couple things. AI is here to stay. And, you and I are diving into that world. We have mentors in that world, and it's not necessarily that AI is coming for your job or coming for your business. However, people that know how to use AI in your job or in your business, in your industry, are coming for your business. It's AI is this opportunity to start scaling in a way like we are at this point, literally saving probably a couple hundred hours per month.
Yep.
Based on what we've been able to do. So does that mean that we have everything figured out? Not at all. But it's allowing us to do a lot more on our team than we would have ever been able to do. And when you couple that with automation and smart systems that help, for example, you be able to automate different parts of your business, or being able to start leveraging AI tools and systems like an AI answering service, and an AI assistant, somebody that can answer routine questions on your website that literally somebody else would have to answer all day long, and instead AI can handle that. And now you really start to leverage that efficiency, and that's where it just makes sense. For a fraction of the price of what you would pay a full-time employee, leverage your existing employees, help them do more, amplify their expertise so that they can spend more time interacting with people.
Yeah.
And so, and then of course, we like to think with WhirLocal that our secret sauce is the community-based aspect, tying it all together.
Right.
And we always like to think, well, what do we have? We have WhirLocal. So it's that's where we're going. That's the story I'm sticking to.
I love that. I love it. I'm excited to see where it goes. Again, you guys are always working on cool stuff, and talking about AI, where it not only just marketing, but AI especially overwhelms a ton of people. And there's probably a lot of people that just, they're not ready for it. This platform allows you to dip your toes into it, and super easily just like walk you through step by step, where you can kind of start to understand, oh man, it used to take me an hour a day to write social posts or a blog post or anything like that. This can walk through and, like you said, save tons of time.
Yeah, and on that note, I'll just mention, when somebody signs up for a free starter membership, we actually invite them to do a couple things, but one of them, they can join us for what we call our new member workshop. We actually spend 60 minutes. We do this every week, and we walk them through how to use WhirLocal, how to use the smart AI assistants, and literally walk them through how to do it. And we've gotten tremendous feedback on that process, just to be able to kind of take that person that I'm not quite sure where to start, and now they're like, man, this is awesome. I'm using it every day.
That's great, because again, other platforms too, you just like get thrown into the wolves, Yeah. And so, yeah, having that support is huge.
Yeah, that's a little bit more about WhirLocal.
Perfect. I mean, again, no brainer. I'm going to say that for the 100th time this episode here. But if you obviously have a business, definitely sign up for a free profile. It doesn't hurt anything. It only helps, and you can go from there. So, Tim, it was awesome to have you. Great talking to you as usual. We'll probably have you on again as WhirLocal adds more features, because we're going to want to share.
Okay.
So
thanks so much for having me on, and just appreciate you and Kelly and Connor and your whole team, and just being able to hang out with you guys. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you very much.